And now, please welcome Shola Olatoye.
It's like we're doing this. It's old friends, old friends. Good afternoon. I said to Mary, I don't know what I did to go on at Friday at 4 o'clock. I thought I was a really nice person. Anyway, well, it's great to be here. Thank you so much to MAS for the invitation and for all of you for what I have heard has been a really engaging conversation about the city that we want. And so my name is Shola Olatoye. I'm Chair and CEO of the New York City Housing Authority. And I believe that the city we want is one that is inclusive and dynamic and diverse. And in order to ensure that that's a reality, we must have a safe, clean, and connected New York City public housing. So I'd love to take you through some of the work that we're engaged in at the Housing Authority and hopefully get some good thinking and feedback to that end. So I was appointed by the mayor early in 2014, and he gave me sort of two clear charges. The first was to reset a series of relationships with our key stakeholders, namely our residents, but certainly our broader sort of community partners. And the second was to come up with a plan. So we spent the better part of 2014 in meetings like this and small meetings in community rooms and church basements and other places around the city. I visited more than 120 plus developments and counting, talking to residents about what they wanted, not only for their development, but for their community. And it was very clear. It's something that I want for my family, and I'm sure we all want for yours as well, which is a safe, a clean, and a connected community. And connected can mean many different things. This audience may think about design and planning, but connected can also mean connected to services, connected to opportunity, and connected to the many different resources that the city has to offer. So that's the vision that drives NextGeneration NYCHA, our 10-year strategic investment plan that is focused on ensuring that the Housing Authority is on a sustainable financial path so that we can deal with the very large capital need that we have, which is $17 billion and counting. So we are, for those of you who don't know about the New York City Housing Authority, we are big. More than one in 12 New Yorkers count on us for housing in some form or fashion. We are the country's largest, actually North America's largest public housing authority, Toronto and Puerto Rico being second and third. We run the largest public housing authority. We also run the country's largest Section 8 or housing assistance program as well. So combined along with that is our more than 620,000 people that we know of. There's probably, if you talk to Catherine Garcia at the Department of Sanitation, she'll say that it's closer to 1 million because she can tell by our tonnage in terms of the trash. But if we were a city, we'd be larger than the city of Boston. We are an incredibly diverse population. More than half of our residents work. Only about 12% of our residents are on public assistance. More than a third of our residents are over the age of 62. So folks are literally aging in place. People may be familiar with the term naturally occurring retirement community. That is us in some ways, as residents moved to public housing many years ago, raised their families, and now are aging in place. So we are big. We have no money. This is a very scary graph for the finance people in the room. If the status quo continues, we are projecting operating deficits in year 2025 of about $425 million. We have not had positive cash flow in about 10 years. And so coupled with annual deficits and a significant capital need, clearly the status quo cannot continue. And so our plan is to reverse that downward trend so that we can deal with this $17 billion unmet capital need. That means I need $17 billion today to bring up the 178,000 units that are in our charge. And so we have some work to do. So Next Generation NYCHA presents 15 strategies. This is not a kitchen sink approach. This is really very specific to A, help us reduce our expenses, help us diversify our revenue base, deal with our real estate, and ultimately engage with our residents in a new and different way. And we do all of this to improve the quality of life for residents. You may have heard something about development. Of those 15 strategies, we are looking at our real estate in new and different ways. We are part of the mayor's affordable housing plan. We will contribute more than 10,000 units to that 200,000 unit plan, 100% affordable. We will also develop market rate housing in addition to a more affordable housing to help actually raise some revenue for the authority while also ensuring affordability in some neighborhoods that remain unaffordable to many New Yorkers. And then we will tackle another part of our portfolio that I'm actually quite excited about, which is we're a very diverse portfolio. We have tenements on the Lower East Side, single-family homes in Queens, brownstones on the Upper West Side. We have those properties are incredibly expensive for us to operate. They are not the traditional tower in the park model that we all might be familiar with. So we're tackling those as well, and we'll be working with HUD and others to really shift those properties to a more stable funding source over the next 10 years. So through a combination of those strategies, we're projecting that we will begin to break even in 3 years so that we can be a stable organization and issue then what would be one of the largest, would be the largest housing bond to actually rehab all 178,000 units. So we have some work to do. It requires a completely different way of engaging with our residents, engaging with the community, and I think opportunities like this present one way for us to have a conversation with New Yorkers about the kind of city that we want. So with that, I leave you again with our vision, and thank you for your rapt attention on a Friday afternoon.